Hey, Maryland Men of Faith, great to have an opportunity to say hi to you. My name is John Bradshaw from It Is Written, and I was reading my Bible recently and a thought occurred to me. I hope this thought encourages you. Have you ever thought about one of the great cowards of the Bible, a fellow named Elijah? Now, wait, I said what I said fairly deliberately. So Elijah's on the top of Mount Carmel, right? Jezebel had been laying waste to the prophets of God. Things had really fallen apart. Ahab had run amok. Finally, Elijah says, all right, we're going to see whose God is the true God. He calls the prophets of Baal, 400 or so of them. He says, build an altar, I'll do the same. You call out to your gods, I'll call out to mine. And we know what happened next. Fire came down from God out of heaven, burned up the altar that Elijah had set up, licked up the water and the dust, burned up the stones. Rain came, and then in the rain, Elijah ran in front of the king and led him all the way to Jezreel. Now, there's enough miracles that happen in that passage to just blow your mind. Elijah was in the middle of all of it, and the next day or so, Jezebel says, I'm going to get him. And Elijah runs like a chicken. I mean, you just prayed down fire from heaven and you're worried about Jezebel. Now, she was on the warpath against the prophets of God. I will give you that. But Elijah had seen God work in an amazing way, and yet he wilts. He just wilted. If it was me and you, we would look at him and we'd say, what is wrong with you, man, after what you've been through? I don't know what he would have said. But it wasn't you and me, just as well. It was God. Here's what God did. Elijah took off. You remember the story? He lays down to sleep. He wakes up. There's food prepared. He eats the food. Sleeps again, eats the food, goes for 40 days. Eventually, God catches up to him. He says, what doest thou here, Elijah? Elijah says, wow, I've served you so faithfully, but I'm the only one left. God says, oh no, hold up. I have 7,000 men in Israel that have not bowed the knee to Baal. But what does God do next? He catches up to him. He gently rebukes him. What are you doing here, Elijah? Then what does he do? Remember who am I talking about? The great chicken of the Bible, Elijah. How did God weigh it up? This is what God did. God said, Elijah, yes, God, there's something I'd like you to do. Now, if it was me or you, we might have said, oh, we want you just to hang it up for 3 months and think about your cowardice, or we need you to attend a self-help course, or we need you to go through the series of studies. You need to read patriarchs and prophets. God did this. He said, Elijah, yes, God, go to Syria and anoint Hazael to be the king of Syria. Okay. Anything else? Yes. Go find Jehu and anoint Jehu to be king. Okay, is there anything else? There is. I'd like you to go and find a fellow whose name is Elisha. Elisha. Have I been saying Elijah? You understand who I mean. Elijah on the top of Mount Carmel. Go find Elisha and anoint him to be your successor. Think this through. Elijah, look, there's no doubt he failed spectacularly. He wilted when the heat came on. He ran. God caught up to him, and God didn't spank him. He didn't speak down to him. He didn't castigate him. He commissioned him. I still believe in you. Go anoint a couple of kings, Elijah. I still believe in you. Go and anoint your successor, Elijah. His name is Elisha. What was God telling him? Elijah, you're going to heaven. The reason you need a successor is because you're not going to carry on in this prophetic office. I've seen who you are. I've seen what you are. I want to bring you to be with me. I see a failure. God sees somebody ready for translation. Now be careful the next time you see a failure. Ask yourself what you really see. The next time you fail, ask yourself what God really sees in you. We don't want to stretch this too far, but you know the point I'm making. God is gracious to men. He said, I'll give you a second chance. Others look at you, they say, you failed. God looks at you, he sees your heart. He says, you are my man. Maryland Men of Faith, let's not forget, we are God's men. In spite of ourselves, whether you are Elijah, the chicken who ran, or someone else, God sees somebody that he wants to put to work and ultimately translate. God is good. The best is yet to come. God bless you.